Hi, welcome back to my podcast. Yeah, it's called, I've changed it again. It's called About Football and Stuff, because I'm going to be adding some other things that are not related to football. But anyway, I'm just going to start off with saying, regarding the Premier League, saying that it's quite at the top, it's quite tight, the top 8. It is quite tight at the top. And between the top 8 sides, you got Liverpool at the top, of course, who are flying at the moment. Although they did, if I go back to the match where they did draw against Nottingham Forest were brilliant in that game. That was 1-1. Nottingham Forest did give them a bit of a scare, so they can be had at, and they can be taken on and get maybe another team on another day might have beaten them. Even Forest are really good setup. Liverpool were in the last match against Brentford away. They were actually pushed right to the end, and Nunes scored 2 goals in extra time. But apart from that, they're flying. They've got so many players, attacking players up front. You got, Jota, you got Diaz, you got Nunes, you got Gakpo, Salah, of course. Salah, who keeps on making these weird, these snidey comments about his contract. I saw CBS News interview with Salah yesterday. It was after the Lille game, where he scored 50 goals now in Champions League. He said a snidey comment about him saying that not sure for how long I'm going to be here, and if I am going to be able to. He was making it as if if he is going to be able to beat his get more goals in the Champions League. But it looks like for the meanwhile he's staying. He's got his cards held close to his chest, it looks like. But they're going strong. They are 6 points clear with a game in hand. You got Arsenal second. Arsenal have gone off the boil a little bit. They drew their last match against Aston Villa. They should have won that match. They were knocked out of the FA Cup on penalties by a very good display of Man United. They beat Tottenham 2-1, not convincingly. And Arsenal versus Aston Villa, they should have won that game. But they don't really look like they're going to really push Liverpool to the title just yet. They've got a lot of players out. I understand that. They've got a lot of players out. They've got a few defenders who are out as well. And then you've got Forest, who are just below them on 44 points as well. On goal difference, they're just third. Forest, again, like I said, they're my second best team after West Ham, of course. Forest are playing really well. They make it so easy to beat teams. They should have beaten Southampton quite convincingly, really, but in the end it was 3-2. They still won. But they've got some great players. They got some brilliant forwards. Their midfield is excellent as well. Gibbs White, Alanga. They've got a few other players. Anderson, Arna, and obviously Wood up front, Chris Wood. And then you've got the Chelsea. They are 4th on 40 points. They're doing okay. They hadn't won for 5 matches. But then they did win the other day. And that was a very, very good game by them. They could have won that by quite a bit more. They're getting lots of players back. They got Chalobah back from Palace. He was on loan there, and they got him back, his defender. I don't know if they actually needed him or not, because they got so many players. They got so many players anyway. Reece James is back as well. He's the one who created some of those goals. They've got Dewsbury Hall, who they're using now in midfield, he's a brilliant player as well. He created one of the goals. Chalobah created one of the goals as well. Cole Palmer is still on form as well. Every match is brilliant, and he had a shot on target, and he had another shot which was saved. So they have been very good. Then you have Man City, who are come back now. They've won 3 in the last 4. Their last match was against poor old Ipswich. Ipswich playing actually quite well. They're on 16 points. They do. They can fight their corner quite well. Ipswich. They can go hand in hand with a lot of the big sides, and on their day they can beat any side. Ipswich has got some really good players. Dillap's brilliant, and they've got lots of other good team players in their squad as well. Hutchinson, they've got Cajuste, Jack Clark is good. Godfrey, Delap, who I just mentioned before. They've got some nice players, and the players have got fellow Jean from Villa. Their players play like a team as well. I mean, they're a little bit like Forest. But Man City, they won 6-0. Convincingly, they beat them quite well. Although they drew 2-2 against Brentford. And then you've got Newcastle, who are on 38 points as well. They're just below them, below Man City on goal difference. They were going so well. They were on a 5-game winning streak. They were fantastic. But out of the blue, they lost against Bournemouth. That was the weirdest game I saw. I mean, Bournemouth were all over them. They just couldn't defend against them. They were so good. But the matches before that, they've gone and won quite a few matches against some tricky sides. A couple of weeks ago, they beat Tottenham 2-1 away. They beat Wolves 3-0. Okay, everyone's beating Wolves. But then the Bournemouth game comes along, and I was really surprised with that one. I thought they would have beaten Bournemouth, but Bournemouth saying that they're on 37 points. They're just below them. Villa are dropped down now. They're on 36. Brighton are there, 34. Fulham, 33. Brentford, 28. And then you get to the 14 and upwards. You've got 14 at West Ham, 26 points. You've got Man United, 26 points. And you've got Palace on 27 points, 12th. So very close there. I think with West Ham, we need to just bed in a little bit yet. Graham Potter needs to bed in a little bit. We got a lot of players out. Unfortunately, another striker pulled up, Fulkrug. He pulled up against who was it again? We were playing Fulham, where he pulled up, and that game was pretty good. Last Tuesday, or Tuesday gone. Last Tuesday, it was 3-2. We were pretty good there. We rode our luck a little bit. It wasn't brilliant. They played out from the back, and they unfortunately, the ball, kind of loose ball, went straight to our player, and we scored 2 like that. But then the third, one of the goals was a brilliant team goal, where it was scored by Souček, and that was assist by Wan-Bissaka. Ing set up Paqueta, where they were pressing at the back line of Fulham. But towards the end of that game, we nearly lost it to Fulham. Well, not lost it. Sorry, it would have been 3-3, and that would have been really terrible. We wouldn't have deserved that. But we won that one 3-2, and then just last Saturday we lost to Palace, and we ain't got Fulkrug. Fulkrug was lost. We lost Fulkrug in the FA Cup game, which we lost against Aston Villa. That we started off really well, but that's where Fulkrug pulled up his hamstring. So he's out. Bowen is out. Antonio's still out. Bowen hopefully will be back next month. Palace game, we were terrible. Mavropanos shouldn't have started. He was terrible. He's given away. It's just passing the ball straight to their players. I don't know what he's doing. He's not passing it. There didn't seem to be any kind of transition between defence and midfield. It was kind of all distorted a little bit. And he started Cresswell on the left. He had to play Kudus up front. It worked okay. I think Kudus was one of our best players, actually. A lot of people said that. No, they didn't think so, but I think he was quite good. We had a few chances, but it was a little kind of skimmed header from Kudus, but not on target. We didn't have any. And I think when some of the youngsters come on, Orford and Scholes came on later on, we picked up and we played much better. We shouldn't have lost that match, but saying that, it's still early days. Graham Potter's third match yet, second Premier League match, should have been better. He knows what he's working with now, at least, and he can probably for the next match. Let's hope we are much better, and we've got Bowen back, and we've bought a striker. Let's hope, and let's hope we've bought a midfielder as well. We've bought a few players to kind of shore up our team at least. But we were very, very poor. Probably one of the worst games I've ever watched. We could have lost that by a bit more. And we were played all over the place by Crystal Palace. We couldn't get the ball off them. At a lot of stages in the game, we couldn't even get the ball off them. It was freezing cold as well. Heineken bar, nobody was there. Surprise, surprise. But that's going to be like that if we've lost and we've and it's cold day as well. Let's hope we can start getting some wins. and start climbing that table. Embarrassingly, there was a transfer that we did put in for John Duran, which we put in 57 million. His price has gone up now. He's worth at least 80 million. And we put in 57 million. 2 weeks ago we put in 40 million. But we could have bought him in the summer for 40 million. The price then was 37 million. They were asking that the transfer, we put in a transfer for him for 37 million. And they said, can we have 40 million? We said, no, we're not going to give that. If we gave 40 million then, we would have had a really good attacking player who can play on the wings, and he can play up front. He can play behind the striker as well as a number 10. He's flying now with Aston Villa, sorry. We just lost out on that. We put in an embarrassing transfer request for him for 57 million, and they've rejected it. That's a bit obvious. They're not going to let their best player go, or one of their best players go. Anyway, our next match is away to Aston Villa, and then Chelsea away. So that'll be interesting to see what Potter can do with the players we've got. We've been very unlucky with our strikers. We've never really done well with any striker. Fulkrug just started finding his feet, and he pulls up with a hamstring. He was really going for that ball when he was running. He ran like 20 yards, and he was trying to run back and get the ball. He's trying to run back and defend, but he pulled up and he's pulled his hamstring. Well, Antonio had his car accident. Bowen would have played up front. You would have had Kudus on the right. He's injured. Somerville was injured. So if we do have our players back, we can put out a very good team. Paqueta as well, he's going off the boil a little bit. He keeps falling over, and dramatics and everything. He's just thinks he's at a drama school or something, and he's going to get some judges voting for him. You know, are they going to put up a number 9 or number 10 for him tripping over like an idiot? This winds me up. I mean, against Palace, which I think should have been a draw, we should have. When we brought on Scholes and brought on Alford, they had more energy, they had a bit more passion, and they were, you know, we picked up a little bit, but it wasn't to be. I would have started Scholes on the left, like he did, like Graham Potter did against Villa in the FA Cup. He started him on the left, and he was man of the match, even though we lost. So I suppose he's starting some. He's trying out some players. Poor old Ings comes on, and it can't really do much. Anyway, there's Man United, just above us on 26 points. They lost their last match. Tottenham lost, which was fantastic because it keeps us in 14th. Man United's game against Brighton was terrible. They lost 3-1. Amorim's being very critical, and he's being truthful, I think. And he is saying that they could get relegated, which is correct. They're in relegation, which is correct. Any of us could get pulled into the relegation dogfight. Man United also, Amorim also said yesterday, he said they could be the worst team in Man United history. A lot of critics, a lot of reporters don't like that, but it's truth. He's telling the truth. He wants the players to realise how bad they are, and they need to be playing for the badge. That's all it is. I'd do the same for West Ham. I would bring in academy players, the ones who are hungry and passionate to play. I'll bring them in, and I'd say, there you go, there's your chance. You know, drop Alvarez, drop drop Mavropanos, definitely. You got who's the other players? Paqueta, just messing about all the time, not really causing any trouble to the opposition. So fair dues. I would do that. But United, it's such a big club, and they deserve better. They deserve to be higher up than that. But we'll see how it goes. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you next time.